Hi, my name's Steve and I teach people to drive in Swindon, and that means Magic Roundabout. Uh, Generally, most people are fairly nervous when they first do things, and that's going to be no different on the Magic Roundabout. So hopefully with a little breakdown of what to expect, how to approach it, we can alleviate some of that. So this is meant for my learners, to give them a heads up on it, but if it helps anyone else, fantastic. So without further ado, let's have a look. So skills we'll be using, same as ever, progressive braking. We're going to try and get our braking done with a couple of car lengths left, giving us that little bit more time rolling in and making those decisions, and if something changes we can stop. We've got that covered. Looking where you're going, yes, you need to be looking to the right because you'll be giving way to the right because you're on a roundabout, but you also need to be looking where you're going and making sure that you're not going until you've got somewhere to go. So easy to block these roundabouts if you're not paying attention. If you just look right and say go, and you realise the car in front of you hasn't gone anywhere, or there are gaps for traffic to queue between the roundabouts, but they can only take a couple of cars at a time, so you've got to wait for them to go. So final one then would be staying staggered. Went into a little bit more detail on the other video about the big roundabouts, but if you let someone go sort of half a car length ahead and then let that build up to a car length, if they wash into your lane, it's not a problem. They're in front of you. You could do that the other way. You can accelerate faster than them if they're taking too long, not a problem. As long as you're staying staggered, gives yourself the opportunity to see what they're up to and them the opportunity to see what you're up to alongside each other. Very easy for them to just wash into you without looking. We sit on the right of the car in the UK, and lanes wash out to the left. So if we're not paying attention to what's on that left-hand side, it's so easy to get yourself into a silly situation with that sort of thing, especially on these bigger, more complicated roundabouts. So that's how we avoid it. If you watch the other video about the big roundabouts again, you'll know this sort of diagram. So if we got two lanes, we generally stick to the left to go left or ahead, or we stick to the right to go right. Fine. If the lanes split further on these even bigger roundabouts, we're going to stick to the left for left. Ahead's more likely to be in the middle, especially with three lanes. We're going to go left, ahead, right, left, middle lane, right. Fine. And if the right lane splits, then again we're going to stick towards the right because we know this middleish one could go ahead. Watch the other video if you want more detail on the structure of those lanes. For today, we're just going to look into doing for real on the Magic Roundabout. So, oh yeah, one last thing. It's not a skill, but it's a mentality I like to see. Love the Magic Roundabout. Don't go into anything thinking you hate it. Is advice for life, but for the Magic Roundabout, it genuinely has amazing flow, keeping everyone moving, getting them to their destination. If you look at some of the other bigger roundabouts, especially in Swindon, where Swindon Borough Council have improved the roundabouts, non-stop traffic whenever it gets busy, and complete confusion as nobody knows what lane they're supposed to be in. This, however, Magic Roundabout gets you where you want to go, gets you there safely, it keeps the traffic moving, and that means you can go wherever you want to go. And that's the great thing about driving, and that's why we do this. So it's a great design. I'm not just saying that because I'm a driving instructor either. Long before I was a driving instructor, one of the best things about Swindon is its proximity to beautiful nature out in the country. We've got some amazing little villages nearby, some great A roads to go driving on. And if you want to go further afield, you've got M4, M5, A49, A420. You can get Devon, Cornwall, London, Cardiff, anywhere. And this, the Magic Roundabout, allows you to get there. So it's fantastic. Anyway, without me getting too sidetracked there, let's move on. So let's have a look at the Magic Roundabout then. Might look a little bit daunting the first time you look at it, but you're only ever going to need 2 or 3 roundabouts. And if you've ever done a double mini roundabout before, it's the same principle. You might just have one more roundabout after that. It's fine. One more thing to note while we're talking about that sort of thing. If we've got all these roads meeting and all these lanes and all these things going on, that's to help the traffic flow. Well, if we need all these roads and all this stuff to help the traffic flow, you're getting a load of roundabouts. What are the pedestrians going to get? Well, they're going to get crossings. So we can probably see from some of the lines here that almost every one of these has a crossing just after the roundabout, and that's going to be true on most big roundabouts when you have paths next to them. You get a road, you get a roundabout when they meet, they get paths, they're going to get crossings when they meet, so that's going to be near the roundabouts. Again, just following that into our don't go until we're sure. No point accelerating off the roundabout straight into a red light and into a pedestrian on the crossing. Let's just keep our speed down till we're sure. Anyway, looking at the lanes themselves then. I'm just going to pick a random one. I'm going to go from... Yeah, you can see it works naturally, exactly as we said. Left lane's going to go left, middle lane's going to go ahead, right lane's going to go right. Let's say we're going ahead. So, started in the second lane, we can stay there, fine. Once that left lane leaves, what lane are we going to become? Anyone watch the other video knows we're going to become the left. And then just like this big bus or lorry here, follow it out. But you might just see here then, this lorry is cutting the roundabout. Great. Sometimes when you're turning right, if there's not enough room, don't be afraid of doing it. That's why these are painted on. It gives you the opportunity. If you have to, you can go across it. Now, I'm not saying go all the way across and cut the wrong side of the roundabout, but just if it gives you that little bit more room when you're not sure what the car on your left hand side is up to, use it. It's absolutely fine to do that. Let's go have a look, let's go have a play. See you on the road. Oh, I don't know if the other camera is recording now. Okay, so as usual we're in the leftmost lane, unless we've got a reason to be further to the right. Sort of both here because we're in the leftmost available lane, because that's a bus lane. Once it clears, we're going to go ahead. So lefts are simple enough. Stay staggered with the bus. That gives me an opportunity to come back to the left. Okay, so you can see the roundabout coming up. We're following the road ahead. So if our lane gets wider, we're sticking towards the middle, same as the bus. Not going across this crossing until I'm sure I've got a gap. And here we go. So as that left lane turns off, we become the left lane. Exactly the same as the bus there. Again, I'm not going until this bus clears. I've got nowhere to go. If that was a smaller car, I might be able to sneak into that left lane there, but with the bus, just haven't got anything. So we can see all three arrows point ahead. So all three lanes can carry on ahead. Brilliant. That doesn't mean that everyone's going to let me do that. Quite often people cut across from the middle over to the left. Unfortunately, it might just be out of camera angle, but the person on the right cut from right to middle. Most roundabouts do wash out towards the left. People do that, and that's why it's so important to stay staggered, because then they don't hit you. Coming back to it then, we're going to follow the road ahead, second exit. Again, if we were going left, that'd be nice and simple. That's just a left and a left. Again, being aware of the crossings and making sure we're not going until we've got somewhere to go. There's loads of traffic going the opposite directions, but nothing alongside us, which is what I was hoping we'd have traffic alongside us today. So yeah, looking right, fine to go. Not accelerating until we're sure. Yeah, nothing's coming this way. Then we can accelerate once we're absolutely sure. And I'm not going to pick up any more speed here until I've had a check on the third one, and the crossing, and the van that's potentially going to start reversing, and see the bus lane. Then we'll start thinking of picking up speed. The pedestrians, the cyclists, great example there of all the things that can be going on at that roundabout. Can't even remember if I mentioned it. We had the bus lane pushing us to the right. Fine. Because we kept our speed under control, we had time to deal with all of that stuff. If all that stuff comes at once, you're going to make a mistake. If you can take your time and go one roundabout, take a moment, another roundabout, take another moment, and then you've got a crossing, and then you've got some cyclists, that's a lot easier than trying to do everything at once. Anyway, round we go again. So then this time we're going to go right, we're going to stay staggered with that bus. I'm actually going to drop speed a little bit so I get a better view around that bus. Yeah, it made it easier to see the lights. The lights are green. Going right at the roundabout, so we're in the right lane. Looks like we can go. We've got somewhere to go. Next roundabout, not accelerating until we're sure. I'm not sure I've got somewhere to go there yet. I would have been blocking the roundabout and stopping this white van if I'd gone. Don't go until you're sure. Now we can see traffic starting to move. There we go. Now we're sure we've got a gap, then we'll go. Hey, I've been hoping for that example, and there it was. Okay, so we're going to turn right from another direction. Okay, not going on to the hatch markings again until I've got somewhere to go. Now I've got somewhere to go, I can come up to the lights. I'm not going past the lights again until I've got somewhere to go. Simple as that. Beautiful blocker in this white car. That'll give us the opportunity to go. I'm going to cut this roundabout a little bit, just in case there's something on the side. Not a problem doing that if you have to. Going right. But yeah, there was nothing coming. Again, I've cut the roundabout a little bit because that's the only way of staying in lanes. These lanes are so narrow. If you have to cut that roundabout to stay safe, cut it. Absolutely fine. Yeah, we can go. We got somewhere to go. Well, they don't know where they're going. Good job we stayed staggered there, haven't it? Okay. Hi, editing Steve here. On the day I filmed that, I just wanted to go through the lanes and help you guys out, but while editing it I was looking at it and thinking, this is a great teaching moment. When that person comes across, imagine if I was right up next to them, they cut across that lane all the way around the roundabout. Well, that's going to be an accident. And then let's imagine I was just slightly behind them, just staying just staggered enough that it wasn't an accident. Then you could get 1 million views on Moto Madness or UK dashcam clips or whatever, and there's a lot of that out there, and it's great entertainment. But real, proper, safe, controlled driving was a complete non-event. They can go have a crash with someone else. Whatever daft thing they were doing wasn't going to be close enough to cause me a problem, and it shouldn't be close enough to cause you a problem. That's on keeping those skills up. I'm going to give you the opportunity to watch that again without me talking or anything through it, just watching how I'm controlling the speed and keeping that distance between me and them before it even becomes a problem. So when it does become a problem, it's not my problem. Anyway, enjoy. See you later. This will be the end of the video after that. So yeah, thank you for watching. Good job we stayed staggered there, haven't it?